I'm really happy you could join me today. This is Yoga with Melissa. Our sequence is going to be a nice, gentle flow that's going to reconnect us to our body, slow us down, so maybe we can pay attention to those spots that are holding a little bit more tension, and then connect with our breath. So we're going to begin standing, and we will need some props, so if you want to grab those before we get started, please do so. You will need 2 blankets or towels, fuzzy blankets to use at the end of class, and a bolster. If you do not have a bolster, you can grab 2 pillows or some couch cushions, and that should get you set for our class today. So grab those. Come back, and then let's start in standing. We're just going to bring our feet a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. Begin to tune in to the rhythm of your breath. Finding maybe a gentle gaze on the floor, allowing your eyes to relax. Coming into this yoga practice today, letting go of the day before, or if you're doing this in the morning, allowing yourself to come into your body and notice how you're feeling. This can incorporate some slight movement, maybe doing some hip circles, kind of distributing and shifting the weight on the bottom of your feet. Allow that jaw to release and relax. Let your facial muscles relax. Shoulders sinking down. And then let's bring our awareness into our feet. We're just gonna rock back and forth. So shifting our weight onto our heels, and then shifting our weight onto the balls of our feet, bringing that into our toes. Just doing this a couple times. And then slowly coming back to that center, feeling an even distribution of weight in your feet. And then we're going to imagine that we're wearing a long sleeve shirt, and we've just pulled our arms in out of those sleeves. So we have these nice, relaxed, weightless arms. And we're going to begin to swing our arms to kind of let go of anything we might be holding on to. So you can start really gentle. And maybe it feels good just to stay in this nice, gentle movement. Knees are pointing forward. And then maybe playing with this here and bringing a little bit more of a vigorous twist or side to side. And you can always allow your arms to move up your body and down your body. I'm just going to do this for a few minutes. And then slowly begin to slow down that movement, coming back to where we began. Take a moment here to notice how your body feels after doing that. Do you feel any tingling? Do you feel any energy or vibrations happening in your body? And then we're going to make our way down onto our mat into easy pose. And this is a great pose to bring in either that pillow or a blanket to sit on to kind of raise your seat up. Can allow for more comfort in the hips as well as the knees. into your seat here. Placing your palms on your knees. Ooh, check in with that jaw now that we've sat down. Notice if you're holding on to any tension and allow that to relax. And then we are going to find some movement in our neck. But first we're going to reach out our neck, kind of over dramatizing that reach. So we're kind of coming out, kind of pointing that chin forward. It's kind of reaching towards your screen. And then gently pull it back in. Allowing your spine to grow long here. And feeling that connection all the way down from the base of your skull all the way down to your seat bones as you pull your chin in. Take a breath here. And then we're just going to look left and right. Nice slow movement here. One more here. And then bringing yourself back to center. And then we're going to take that left ear to that left shoulder. Making sure that that left ear is somewhat on top of that shoulder. So maybe notice if your chin points up or down, keeping that chin pointing forward. Finding that breath. Inhale, come up. And then exhale, right ear, right shoulder. And again, noticing where your chin's going, where it's naturally going. And then kind of positioning it so that your ear is directly over that right shoulder. And then from here, we're going to find a half circle. So we're going to sink that chin to our chest, left ear, left shoulder. And then go back to the right, moving at your own pace. Let's do one more half circle here. And then when you find yourself in center, holding here for a breath. And then keeping that chin tucked, lifting that head up, coming back to center. And then we're just going to take our arms straight out in front of us, palms facing one another. And we're going to reach the right arm forward as though we're pulling away from the back. That muscle is kind of pulling away and then pulling it back. And then let's find it with the left side, pulling, stretching that back muscle, and then pulling back. And then we're just going to alternate one side and then the other. last one here. And then release, shake it out. And then bringing your arms down by your side, we're just going to do some nice shoulder circles. One more, and then we're going to reverse that direction of the circle. One more. Ooh, release. Maybe notice if you had any tight areas, kind of maybe feeling some sensations in that neck and shoulder area or upper back area. And then we're going to inhale, palms facing, reach up towards the ceiling, bringing those hands together, interlacing those fingers, and swiveling it up so the palms are facing the sky or ceiling. And then we're just going to reach over, opening up that right side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, opening that left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release those hands down. Taking a breath here. And then bringing your hands onto your palms. We're just going to bring in some movements to the spine. So finding that cat-cow, seated cat-cow. So as we exhale, we're going to tuck that chin, curl that back. And then as we inhale, we're going to open up through the front body, bringing those shoulder blades in together. Maybe your gaze goes up towards the ceiling, or maybe it stays straight out in front. One more. And then come back to that center spot. And now we're going to make our way into tabletop. So if you have any knee sensitivities, or it might just feel good, you can use that blanket as a little knee placement to add a little extra padding or cushion. I personally like how it feels. So we're going to come into tabletop here, spreading the fingers out wide. Wrists are below shoulders, knees are below those hips. And we're just going to sway the hips from side to side. And then we're going to extend that left leg back, tucking those toes, pressing into the ball of that left foot. Feeling that stretch. And then exhale, release, left knee comes back down, extend that right leg, tuck those toes, press into the ball of that right foot. And then on your next exhale, releasing that back down. This time we're going to go back to that left side, extending that left leg out. And we're going to play with half bird dog here. So we're just going to lift that left leg up off the ground, coming up to about hip height. And then we're going to take a moment here to check in with that middle. That middle area is our stability station. So if we're collapsing here or anything, maybe just Pulling that belly button in, feeling that lift slightly. Maybe you feel a little bit more stable. And then we're just going to bring your forehead to your knee. They do not need to touch. They're just coming towards one another. And then release. Let's do that 2 more times. Bringing them close in together and away from each other. Last one. And then release that left foot down. Press into the ball of that foot. Ooh, let it go. And then let's find that on the right side. Extend that right foot out, allowing it to raise up. And then again, let's check in with our stability station. Pulling that belly button up back towards our spine. And maybe this feels good here. Maybe this is enough for your practice today, and that's totally okay. Listening to your body is what yoga is all about. It helps us tune in and pay attention to what we need. And then now we're going to bring that forehead and knee towards one another, if this feels good for you today. Squeezing in that middle. Let's do that 2 more times. And then release that foot down. Press into the ball of that right foot. And then releasing that down. Now we're going to come on to our forearms here. Give our wrists a little bit of a break. Coming into a puppy pose. So planting those palms down on the mat. And we're just going to sink our chest towards the mat. So our seat bones stay up towards the sky. This is a stretch in our shoulders. So the farther back you go, the more you're going to feel that sensation maybe. And then the closer you stay towards the front of your mat, the less sensation. So maybe playing with that placement and seeing what feels good to you today. And then allowing your forehead to make its way towards the mat. Relaxing and releasing that jaw, releasing your facial muscles. And then on your next inhale, we're slowly going to make our way up, pressing into our hands, coming into tabletop. And we're going to make our way into forward fold. So coming towards the top of our mat, if you had a blanket or something, maybe moving that to the side. Having a nice bend in the knees, maybe spreading the feet out a little bit wider. Allow the upper body to feel heavy, letting your arms kind of dangle. And then keeping that chin tucked, we're just going to slowly roll up to standing. And we're going to take a nice pause here. And then we're going to go through a few rounds of sun salutations. So inhale, arms reaching towards the ceiling. Exhale, rolling down into that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands come to shins, back is flat. Exhale, bend those knees, plant those hands down, stepping back, noticing the foot you're stepping back with. Finding your plank. So coming down onto your knees, if that feels better, if that's part of your practice. And then slowly lowering down through chaturanga. Arms are sweeping the sides of your body. Press up through cobra. Exhale, we're going to press back into downward facing dog. Knees can be nice and bent. This is our first down dog of our practice today. It might feel good to alternate bending one knee and then the other. Tune into that breath when the poses get a little bit more challenging. It's always great to find that breath to help us center. Sending that gaze up to the top of your mat, we're going to step forward into our forward fold. Let everything hang. Keeping that chin tucked, we're going to roll it up. Inhaling, rising here. Exhale, rolling down into that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, nice bend in those knees. This time, step back with the opposite foot into your plank. And finding the plank that works for you today, that feels good in your practice. We're going to lower down through that chaturanga, finding cobra. Release, press back into that downward facing dog. We're going to hold here for a few rounds of breath. And then sending that gaze up to the top of our mat, stepping forward, hanging for some breath, keeping that chin tucked, rolling up. Taking a moment here. And then we're going to move into that warrior sequence. So hands are going to come onto our hips. We're going to step back with that left foot, making sure that toes are pointing towards the long side of our mat. The outside of our foot is parallel with the back of our mat. And then when you're ready, pressing into that right leg, just check in with your knee. You want that knee to be going towards the back of your mat, towards your pinky toes. So feeling nice and strong here. Your arms can stay here, or you can bring them out into a T. Sending your gaze out beyond those fingers. And then as you exhale, bending that front arm, forearm is going to come down onto that thigh. Arm can reach up towards the ceiling, or that arm can come parallel with your ear. So being aware of what feels better. Your arm can also stay close into the body. Wherever you are is where your body needs to be. No judgment. We want to feel good in our practice. And then exhale, rising back up to that warrior two. And then we're going to straighten that front leg, swivel the foot forward. So now we're in wide leg. We're going to bring our hands onto our hips. We're going to have a nice generous bend in those knees. Back is flat, coming down into a wide leg forward fold. Hands can make their way towards the floor. pressing your palms into the floor, rising up here. Exhale, release. Bending those knees, bringing your hands to your hips. Back is flat. We're going to roll it up. And then we're going to find warrior two on that other leg. So that left leg is going to swivel forward. Checking in with our back foot here. And then when you're ready, we're going to press into that front leg. Checking in with that knee. We want it going towards the back of our mat. And then finding that arm placement that feels good to you. Hips coming out to a T. Softening, trying to find some softness. A lot of work is going on in the lower half of our body. Maybe finding some softness in our jaw and our face. And then we're going to bend that front arm. That forearm's going to come onto that thigh. And then finding that arm placement. You got lots of choices here. Breathing here. And then inhale as we come up to that warrior two. Releasing those hands, bringing hands onto our hips. Lengthening that front leg, swiveling those toes forward. And then we're just going to bring our feet in together. Now we're going to make our way down onto our mat. Do a few more stretches. If it felt good to have that blanket under you or that bolster, great. I'm just going to do a few more stretches, and then we're going to get ready for our Shavasana. So extending those legs out long, finding length in our spine here. Going to place our hands on the sides of our thighs. Maybe there's a slight bend in those knees, allowing our heels to kind of press into the mat. And with that long spine, we're just going to walk our hands forward as we kind of bring our chest towards our thighs. Allow a softening in the face and jaw. And then slowly come back up. We're going to bring that left leg in. We're going to find a nice side bend. So we're going to bring that right hand onto that right leg. We're just going to allow it to travel down towards our foot, allowing the forearm to find a resting spot. Now, this may be you may feel sensations at this spot. Great, stay here. Or you might want to get into this area here. So you allow that arm to rise up. This can be a stopping point. Or allowing that arm to come over. Knowing that we are not here to reach a certain look or a destination. We're just tuning in and really listening to our bodies and what feels good for us today. And then slowly come up. Let's find that on the opposite side. So left hand is going to make its way down to our foot. Forearm is going to find that resting spot. Opening up the chest. And then finding that arm placement that feels best. going to remove that blanket if you were sitting on one. Make sure that, we're going to lower down, make sure that your pillow or bolster is somewhere you can grab it along with your two blankets. So we're going to make our way down on to our backs, keeping our knees bent. Coming here, just allow yourself to arrive, noticing how that feels in your body. Maybe your body says, that feels good. I've been standing all day, been holding you up all day. That feels really nice. And then keeping that right leg planted down onto the mat, we're just going to bring that left leg into the body, interlace those fingers, and kind of pull it in towards you. And then release, bringing that right leg in. Let's do that 2 more times. Release your feet down onto the mat. We're going to tee those arms, keeping our feet hip-width distance apart and allowing your knees to fall either to the left or the right, your choice. I'm just going to do a little twist here. Our gaze can remain looking up to the ceiling, or we can look out towards that opposite arm. And then inhale those legs back to center, and then allowing them to fall to the other side. Eyes can gently close here if that feels good. And then inhale your knees back to center. And we're going to get ready for Shavasana. So if you feel, if your body needs to do some more movement, please feel free to do so. And I'm just going to kind of show you how you can prepare, for Shavasana. So you can bring those pillows or that bolster, whichever you have, you can bring those underneath your thighs and knees as a nice little added support. And then one of those blankets you can use as a headrest, kind of bringing it here in the place of your neck. So maybe doing a nice little roll. And then last, that other blanket, you're just going to drape it over your body. So maybe wrapping your arms, wrapping your feet. And we're just going to find some nice Shavasana here. And at the end, I will bring you out with a nice little chime. So just allow yourself to settle into this Shavasana, getting nice and comfortable. You might have to move around a little bit till it feels just right. Feeling the support of the floor, feeling the support of your mat, feeling that support of your pillow or bolster, the support of your blanket. letting yourself listen to the rhythm of your breath, allowing your breath to move your body towards the ground, feeling nice and connected to your mat. Relaxing your toes and your feet, relaxing your ankles, your calves, your kneecaps, your thighs, your hips, your pelvis, your back. Softening through your lower limbs, relaxing your fingers and your hands, relaxing your forearms and your biceps, relaxing your shoulders, relax in your belly, relax in your chest, relax in your neck and your throat, relax your jaw, allow your tongue to feel heavy, relax in your face, relaxing the skin around your eyes, relax your eyebrows and your forehead, relaxing your head, let the relaxation wash over your entire body, letting yourself soften and sink just a little bit more. Increasing your inhales and your exhales. Begin to find some movement in your body. That could be rocking your head from side to side, wiggling your toes and your fingers. Might feel good to do a full body stretch, reaching your arms back behind you. And then planting your feet down on your mat. And then rolling on to the side that's most comfortable to you. And then when you're ready, pushing yourself up into an easy pose. Eyes can be open or closed. Bringing your palms together, placing them at the heart center. Thank yourself for showing up today, allowing your body to move, honoring where your practice was today, and tuning in to what your body needed. Namaste. Thank you.